Bethany Covenant first met in its church building in 1922 on Evergreen Street, just north of downtown Mount Vernon. But you could say the church's more significant meeting was held a year earlier in a farmhouse on the McLean Road west of town. It was in the home of Nels and Christina Elde on the day after Christmas of 1921 when a small group of Swedish immigrants voted to call P.M. Fosse to be the first pastor of what was then called Mission Friends Church. The leader of that meeting was Nels, our church's first chairman. The Elde family would become an integral part of Bethany for much of its 100-year history. And it all started with Nels, described by his son Mel years later as one who had a commanding presence in his own quiet way, was liked by everyone, and had a playful sense of humor. But when it came to the family, church attendance was no laughing matter. Typical of the Swedish pietist of that day, Nels believed for the family, church came first. Nels and Christina also were generous with their money. They dipped into their life savings to help fund the construction of the original church building, a basement. The man in charge of building that original basement was also a Swedish immigrant and charter member. His name was John Lund. John has been described as a tiller of Bethany, a skilled carpenter who built many homes in the Skagit Valley. He would also oversee the building projects above ground, the construction of the sanctuary in 1937 and the Sunday school addition years later. He served on just about every church committee in every capacity and was a deacon at the church until age 86, just a year before he died. For many years, he drove a bus to the Nookachamps area to pick up kids and bring them to Sunday school. Away from the church, he served as chairman of the Mount Vernon School Board. I was only 12 when my grandfather passed away, but the life lessons I learned from this wise old Swede remain with me more than 5 decades later. He would use a building metaphor to implore me at a young age to construct my life on the foundation of the church. Ja, Ricochet, as he used to call me, build your house upon the rock, Jesus and the church. My grandmother Lizzie had the gift of hospitality and for years was a leader in Ruth's Circle and Tabitha, the women ministries of that day. Growing up at Bethany in the 1960s and 1970s, I was fortunate to be influenced by my grandparents and other older Swedes who remained a living link to the church's beginnings.